Doesn't mean a 64-year-old coach and a 56-year-old coach, best pals, can't dream about it as well. That big hug, they will have lifetime memories. Obviously, they've had some, and now tonight they meet in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and here we go. Joey Crawford to put the ball in the air. Dick Pavetta and Eddie F. Rush are the other officials. And San Antonio controls the opening tip with Tony Parker bringing the ball into the front court. He's picked up by Chauncey Billups. Ginobili is guarded by Tayshaun Prince. Duncan comes way outside with Wallace on him and then puts it up off the glass.
You're looking for that early, Al. What you want is every time that you get a switch or you get in a help situation, get the ball to Duncan early and let him operate in the clock.
Tayshaun Prince is guarded by Ginobili.
This is a big matchup in this game tonight.
And Manu bodies him, and the foul is called here by Dick Pavetta. So go back to the basket, the opening basket of the game, Duncan.
Well, what I like to see there on that screen, Rasheed Wallace had to help on the dribbler, Ginobili. That freed up Duncan for a second. Anytime that you're running at Duncan, he can make the jumper or he can take you off the dribble.
Now Rasheed Wallace, one of the stars the other night, over Duncan, and he has that height advantage, and he's been able to exploit it at early junctures in games throughout the finals.
That time and time again, Al, especially from that spot on the floor.
Ginobili stops and hits.
The Ginobili-Prince matchup could dictate the game. Ginobili needs to create and score big, and Prince needs just to be consistent and force Ginobili into a difficult night shooting.
And they look like Bowen and Hamilton underneath on that sequence. Now Rasheed Wallace for three. That doesn't go. Parker gets it for the Spurs. Loves to penetrate. Goes all the way. Has to dish it back out, and that's a turnover. And Detroit now with a 3-on-1. And he got away with traveling. He missed the basket, but they get it back.
3-on-1 situation. All he had to do was give it up, get it back. The defender would have had to commit.
Ben Wallace, an MVP candidate in this series.
Well, there's got to be premium on the defensive rebounding here tonight. Detroit's having a shade under 15 a game, and then at the other end, San Antonio 13.
Parker, a runner from the lane, and Big Ben off the glass.
Easy points tonight will be the key in this game. Whether you get him on second shots or whether you get him out in transition.
Billups, who had a 34-point game in Game 5. Prince has come alive in the last couple of games of the series after a very slow start. Wallace works on Mohammed, and Wallace has given them far more offense in the finals than anyone could have dreamed.
Well, Ben Wallace is shooting 56%. Now, a lot of his shots are on second shot attempts cutting to the basket, but he has shot a very, very high percentage facing the basket. Now, that was a difficult release.
Parker stopping in the lane, has that one blocked. Hamilton quickly over to Prince. Hamilton is free. Duncan sends it out to Parker. Bruce Bowen handling the ball. He's going to drive, and Bruce Bowen will draw the foul.
Yeah, good call by Joey Crawford. A definite bump. You can see when the guys have the basketball tonight, they are not going to let them maul one another at the defensive end.
Bowen to inbound. Early substitution as Brent Barry comes into the game, and they give Parker an early rest. So Popovich, less than 4 minutes into the game, goes to the bench, and there goes Ben Wallace all the way in for the lay-in.
Once again, a deflection. San Antonio must play tougher in the post area and in the paint. You must be strong. This is a team that relies on shot blocking, deflections, forced turnovers to get out in the open floor.
Parker comes back in. So what was that there? Was it just a case of Popovich wanting to talk to Parker? He had him out for 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
puts him back in. Barry sits down. Now Ginobili inside the arc.
You can see that Prince is honoring the quickness off the dribble of Ginobili in his first two possessions. But Ginobili will give you that rocker move and step back. He's a very confident guy in the perimeter.
Hamilton off the curl, and that's his bread and butter play. Detroit by 4 early. Duncan passed up a shot from 15. Mohammed gets the rebound, can't get the bounce. Duncan loses it. Back come the Pistons.
Now that's the value of a point guard who's getting you 5 rebounds. Chauncey Billups kept that ball alive to knock it out.
Billups, 3-point attempt. Duncan with the rebound.
I like the pace. This is San Antonio pace. Now, for Detroit, they just got to take advantage of the 3-on-2, 4-on-3s and get the easy baskets.
Mohammed, Ben Wallace on him. The sheet is on Duncan. And out of bounds, that one will go to San Antonio.
Detroit's defense has been just what you would expect it to be. They're trying to play and clog up off the dribble to the basket penetration by Parker and Ginobili. Then they've done a very good job in holding San Antonio to 1 shot attempt.
Fresh clock is going inbounds. Duncan collects it. And over Rasheed Wallace and Big Ben underneath. All he needs is that one left hand. Like a big claw. And you got Billups posting down low and scoring through Parker.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do about that. Billups can take Parker at will. He not only has a size advantage, but he also has 20 pounds on him. Billups plays extremely strong.
Just before the game, the two guys in their respective huddles, and right now, UB Detroit's on a 10-2 run, up by 6.
All right, mainly because San Antonio is struggling with their shooting. This is a game tonight. It's all about poise, and it's all about character of the individuals, and then execution as a team.
6:43 to go in the opening period. Ginobili to inbound. And he gets it back. Robert Horry has come into the game for the first time. And underneath is Duncan to put it back in.
It's the premium thing at both ends of the floor. You must take care of your defensive board. Both teams are excellent getting their second shot attempts and then completing the shot.
Four-point game. Hamilton is short. Barry for the rebound. Now to Ginobili.
Bowen chased Hamilton from one side of the lane to the other and then had to negotiate around a staggered screen.
Ginobili gets a little bit of help. Back out it comes to Barry. And a little 12-footer from the lane goes.
That was good defense and a closeout by Ben Wallace. He chased Barry off of that three-point shot. Barry being a high percentage three-pointer, over 40. He forced him down inside. You'd rather give up 2 than 3.
Rasheed Wallace. Joey Crawford signals a call away from the ball. Go back to Brent Barry's play, the runner in the lane.
Now you see right there, Ben Wallace came out and he forced Barry to make a very difficult shot. I like what we're seeing in the refereeing. They are not allowing the defender to grab and hold on any kind of movement across the lane before they come off the screen.
That foul on Ginobili, and so he has to take a seat in the first quarter. 2 fouls, and the coach just about compelled to get a straight out of there. And there's the block, and Barry comes back the other way.
Now they'll go Ben Wallace on Ori, but then great block by Duncan.
And Ori responds at the other end.
Whenever you play San Antonio, they run their trailer right to the defensive arc in the lane. If you play behind that guy and he makes a catch, that's an easy score.
Tied at 12. Rasheed Wallace missing, and Parker is there underneath.
He was off balance. That time Duncan was right up on top of him.
Duncan clearing it out. Duncan and Wallace. And a foul here on Rasheed.
Now right there, Ben Wallace is taking Ori off the dribble. Duncan comes from the other side. Now right here, this is just a strong move. You see, they're going to be consistent now. They're not going to let you grab, so you must adjust.
6 on the shot clock. Barry gets stripped on his way into the lane. That's already 14 fouls now against Detroit. And that one's on Billups. And that's his second foul. And now Lindsey Hunter's going to have to come into the game. So you've got two key guys who have to take a seat early in the game. Ginobili on one side, Billups on the other.
Right, there are two people who can get you 20-plus points. So naturally, you must make quick adjustments.
.420 left in the period. It's Duncan. 5 on the shot clock. Spins underneath, and it's swatted away by Ben Wallace again.
Big Ben is everywhere early. Great hands that time by Bowen. Bowen anticipated that pass into the post. My only comment is Detroit is very confident that they can be the first.
They absolutely are.
Look, they're out here tonight, and they're doing what they do best. Blocking shots, forcing turnovers, getting out on the break. But when you lose a player of Billups' character early, that is a major blow. Because not only does he run your team, but he has also made 11 threes. He's your primetime three-point shooter in this series.
And then with him on the bench, they start with a steal and then a foul. And over the limit now, so Robert Horry, who gets fouled, will go to the free throw line. McDyess has come into the game for Rasheed Wallace, and Nazir Mohammed comes in for Tim Duncan for San Antonio. Horry misses the first of 2. Here's Michelle.
Al, you mentioned earlier how Tony Parker got benched really briefly early after he took 2 errant shots, and Popovich just wanted to talk to him and calm down his young point guard. In the last huddle, just moments ago, Popovich at the end of his speech looked at Tony Parker and said, "You all right?" Tony nodded yes, and Pop took his knuckles and sort of knocked on Tony's head as if to make sure everything was still okay in there. So for now, the point guard is back in, Al.
He's back in. He had that brief little sojourn on the bench where Popovich needed about 15 seconds to settle him down and talk to him early. Horry makes 1 of 2. San Antonio has the lead.
Well, Parker is averaging right at 15 points in the series, and he's shooting 48%. So there's nothing wrong with that part of it all. It just comes down sometimes to shot selection with the percentage. Is it a good percentage shot?
Prince missed, and then Hamilton missed. 3.5 left in the opening period in the 7th game. Parker has the lane cut off here. You've got 6 on the clock. Goes in again. Muhammad juggles it. Picks it back up. Shot clock violation. Did he get the rim? He did.
He did.
Didn't matter. Detroit gets the ball anyway. And driving all the way is Hunter to blow the layup.
Wow, that was a strong move by Lindsey. He got himself caught underneath the rim. And he did not have a good angle on the release. That's why when you're in transition defense, you never say, that's a gimme, let him go. You keep challenging and force, try to put pressure on the shot.
Here's Ori.
Oh, boy.
Yes, for three.
Ori coming into this game was shooting 48% in threes. That was his 14th make in this series.
Since Popovich called that timeout, a 10-0 run. So he said the perfect things, and Hamilton stops that streak. Basket there, making it a 2-point game. Ori.
Every time that Robert Ori catches the ball at the top of the circle and he has McDyess on him, in this series, if you notice, he takes him with a right dribble and he takes him down strong all the way to the basket. He never settles for a short jump shot.
Ori knows what it's like to play in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He played in the last one in '94 as a Rocket against the Knicks, winning one of his 5 rings, and it's out of bounds, and it will go to the Spurs.
To get an offensive rebound here today, you have got to want contact. And then you cannot cry about a non-call. You must play big here this evening.
Mohammed to the bench. Ori has San Antonio's last 6 points. Spurs up by 4, a minute and a half in the quarter remaining. Barry drives by Prince, and they're going to get an offensive foul.
Once again, Ben Wallace. As Brent Barry goes down, he's hurting right now. Let's just hope it's only a stinger. Ben Wallace, beautiful rotation, stepped right in, takes the charge. Just watch him recover here. See, he takes it right there. Now, Barry could have had a pass off to the right, because when Ben Wallace left his man, you never just want to stay in the same spot. Move and create a passing lane for Barry so that you get a dunk.
Barry was still grimacing a couple of seconds ago. Sucks it up, guards Prince. This is Lindsey Hunter. McDyess turns around and drops it in over Ori.
From that area, McDyess shoots a terrific percentage, whether he's facing or whether he is taking you with a fadeaway jump shot. That's his pet area.
Final minute of the quarter. Ori. Now Tayshaun Prince with 45 seconds. Hamilton comes off the curl. That time Bowen was right with him.
Yeah, he gambled. He shot the gap and he gambled.
Here's Hunter. Lindsey is short, but Detroit gets it.
Oh, bad pass.
Then they throw it away, and it's Barry. And it's knocked away as Hamilton saves the basket. They couldn't save the ball, but he saves the basket on a fine play. And now with 22 seconds to play, San Antonio will have it.
Now, this is just a sensational play by Hamilton right there. Not only that, but how about this? Almost a great save.
2-second differential between the shot and game clock. You can take it almost all the way down.
In every game in this situation, you'll get a high screen somewhere at the top of the circle.
And there it is. And Parker tries to exploit it, and he can't. And Hamilton will throw one up just before the horn and not get it. Tight, tough.
The pace of the game has been up-tempo. Unfortunately, we are not getting great shooting. Right now, Detroit is shooting 38%, San Antonio 40%. The advantage for San Antonio has been the bench production of Barry and Ori. They have 10 points to only 2 for McDyess and the Detroit bench.
Detroit inbounds to start the second quarter. Lindsey Hunter. Rasheed Wallace looking inside to Prince, Tayshaun, missing, but gets it back. Hunter, never shy to put it up. Underneath, Hamilton is there for the offensive board to tie the game.
Now, Detroit, they're getting good looks, Al. They're getting good looks from anywhere from 12 to 17 feet. They just have to relax and knock them down. And also the advantage of posting up Prince on Brent Barry. You must take advantage of that.
Crawford calls the foul here on McDyke just to reset the foul situation after 1 quarter of play. Chauncey Billups with 2 and Manu Ginobili still on the bench with 2.
Well, when you have 2 high flyers like Ginobili and Billups on the bench, naturally scoring is going to be down, mainly because both teams count on them. They're either the number 1 or number 2 scorer for their team.
Near turnover, but Duncan saves it and scores.
Now, that's a great. Detroit got the deflection. Unfortunately, they did not get to the loose ball.
Prince cuts inside. Hamilton will lay it off for McDyke. Hamilton tries to find room, does, and he puts it in to tie it at 20.
That was just a great head fake. When Hamilton came off the head fake, committed Ori as he passed them, he regrouped. Difficult shot off of 1 foot.
So crowd gathered at the Pistons home watching the game on the big screens there. Turnover here. Prince behind his back. Waits to set up. Has a 3 opportunity and cashes in.
Now this is the young man that's got to get it going. He has been an outstanding 3-point shooter all year. And in this series, he has struggled. That is his first 3.
Picked a pretty good time for it. Ginobili's going to come back into the game. Samana with 2 fouls. He returns with a little more than 10 minutes to go in the opening half. Bowen alone. McDyke cleared it.
Well, they'll force Bowen to make that shot. And they will continue to double team with his man helping out in the lane until Bowen hits a few, so that then they'll have to honor him.
Hamilton works it over to Prince. Again, Tayshaun missing this time. Bowen off the glass. Ginobili with 4 points. Ori now, who got hot in the first quarter. Parker from the corner. Tony Parker knocks it in to tie the game.
That time Lindsey Hunter was there, but he didn't want to close him out. Mainly because Parker still had his dribble. You always must be concerned with a Parker taking you strong to the basket.
Only his second 3 of the series. He's 2 for 12 in the finals. And then that 3 from Hamilton doesn't go, but McDyke taps it to himself to keep possession.
Detroit getting excellent looks out. The big thing is do not rush your shot.
And a whistle underneath. Tayshaun Prince knocks that in.
That's the value of your point guard being back in the game. It was easy to hit Prince on a pass away from the defender. He made that look easy. It was all set up by a beautiful pass by Billups.
Pistons by 2. Duncan to tie it up.
Now McDyke was upset with himself. He thought that he was going to be able to block that shot. Nice move by Timmy, taking it right into the face of the defender.
Chauncey Billups has spent a lot of time on the bench with those 2 fouls. McDyke's missing. Brent Barry, son of Rick. Ori off the bench with 8. Duncan a like figure. Him on a fall away.
I like the defense by Antonio McDyess. He was not going to allow Duncan to bank that jump shot. He played him tight and jammed him and then forced him into an off-balance release.
Phillips trying to lose Barry. Good tight defense. It comes outside. Now Ginobili is going to lay it in there for Duncan. Tim has to come back out.
We only have had one fast break score in this game, and that was by Detroit.
Duncan off the glass. Normally money in the bank for him, but not in this series. He's not been consistent with that shot.
Well, the tempo has been up and down, but they are not looking to push and then challenge in the 4-on-3 or 5-on-4 situation. They're settling to set up a half-court offense at both ends.
Foul call here, and it is the second on Antonio McDyess.
Right now, with Parker coming back in the game, they move Ginobili to the small forward position. You have Parker and Barry in the backcourt.
Hamilton will get a brief rest. Hunter back into the game for Larry Brown. 6.5 left in the half. Oh boy. And a foul here as Tim Duncan gets fouled. The foul is on Big Ben Wallace, and that is number 2 on Ben.
Now just keep an eye down inside. See, Ben has been able to get quite a few deflections once Duncan makes the catch, or as soon as he puts the ball down on the ground. The main thing right now is the game is being called very close, and you must pick your spots.
And then there's contact outside, and Ginobili
that was unfortunate.
Gets fouled, and Wallace is slow in getting up.
Yeah, Rasheed Wallace was trying to make a move in covering ground. See, watch, he's going to step out here right now, but it gets right there with the left leg, trips Ginobili, and that's a stinger.
Rasheed's up, but that's 2 on him. He got into foul trouble the other night and ended the game with 5 fouls, and was the star down the stretch for Detroit in Game 6.
Both teams basically are rotating 7 guys once we got into Game 6, and they're doing it again this evening.
Parker. Yeah, this is not, as Joey Crawford looks, and it's going to be called a jump ball. Crawford checking things out with Eddie Rush.
Well, in my opinion, I thought it was off Detroit. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, just keep it right.
Ginobili.
Yeah, at the last second. They're going to take it into the middle.
So it gets adjudicated as we come back to the center jump circle. Ben Wallace and Nazir Mohammed, the way the game started. And this time it's Detroit controlling the tip.
Yeah, Ben Wallace is quick on the tap. You must be ready. You've got to be ready to battle him because he wins almost all of the jump balls in the series.
Rasheed Wallace is guarded by Nazir Mohammed and draws the foul with 5:51 to play in the half. So now they have an opportunity here. They meet in Game 7, and the game is tied with 5:40 to go.
The game has been very choppy, Al, mainly because both teams are struggling shooting a decent percentage, and then also they're only getting 1 look at the basket. We are not seeing anything in transition, so we do not have a nice flow or continuity to the offenses.
And tough, contested defense, which of course is nothing new, but it's pretty amazing when you think about it. On the 23rd of June, little push here, and that one with Ben Wallace looking is going to be called on Rasheed Wallace. And for Rasheed Wallace, that's number 3. So now Rasheed Wallace in foul trouble, giving rush and earful.
Yeah, well, right now he's questioning. He had Duncan fronted. He fronted him and he fought him really hard. Now, as this pass comes over, here comes the double team. The double team with Ben Wallace. What they're saying is that he had a hard bump on Duncan, and that's why Duncan lost control.
So he has to sit. Tony Parker.
Once again, they challenge and they get a shot block. That is their 4th block in this game.
Neither team has scored for over the last 3 minutes. And finally, the minute you say it, of course, somebody does.
Well, Detroit is struggling in the one area. We question whether or not they can shoot a high percentage in 3. They made 8 in Game 6. They're 1 for 7 tonight. That must improve as we go along because they're getting good looks.
Duncan whips it out to Parker. He passes up the 3. The Barry will launch and hit.
Barry and Ori already have 13 points between them off the bench. You must get to Brent Barry because 5 straight years he made over 100 threes and shot over 40%.
And McDyke's so valuable off the bench all year in the playoffs, in the finals.
That's right, Al. He had a great year from the field. Shot it over 50%. You just can't play him lazy. Another block.
Brown wanted goaltending. They don't get it, but they will get the foul here.
Now, Joey Crawford is off. Brent Barry is all over Joey Crawford, saying the ball was on the way down. Joey Crawford said that ball was on the way up.
And, of course, now a lot of concern here. Take a look. Ori is on the floor.
You can see that ball was still on the way up. Now, depends upon, now naturally in this building, everybody's going to get upset. Now, you can see the swing of the hand caught him right across the face.
He's okay. The other night, I mean, it's just a phenomenal performance. He made that unbelievable dunk. The shoulder was killing him, and then, of course, a couple of minutes later, that launching 3 that sends the series back here with San Antonio winning Game 5.
Well, you can see that his right eye is smarting right now. Now, he has been a bear in the three-point shooting all throughout this series. Now, we know he's made 14 and shot over 48%. But what I like about it is he's taking the ball to the basket when the opportunity presents itself, whether he dunks with the left hand or going strong to the right side of the rim.
Ori now has 9 points in 12 minutes of action. Duncan will go to the bench. Ori is the only guy on either team who has been to the foul line tonight.
And with the game being called as close as it is, that's like a rare stat.
Very, very. A lot of crazy stuff in this series.
Yes.
Dyke saved it. Shot clock at 6, and you get Parker putting his hands on Billups, and that's the foul on Tony.
Yeah, they're not going to allow you to hand check. Never mind. If a guy is without the ball and he's moving on the baseline, any grabbing or bumping, foul.
Thank you very much, Mike. You know, Yubi, as we sit here, we have the best seat in the house, center court, right on the floor. One thing really strikes me, the intensity of a Game 7. And people can say, oh, these guys are making millions of dollars and all that. But they have played about 9 months going back to training camp.
Right.
And you can't tell me you don't get a little tired. And it takes a lot out of you. It's the 25th playoff game for Detroit on top of an 82-game regular season. And everybody is leaving it on the floor tonight. I know that's a cliche, but there's no other way to put it. Wallace, Ben Wallace.
Al, you're absolutely right. Detroit has played, this will be their 107th game of the year. San Antonio 106th. And you have to be at the top because it's for all of the marbles. And you know, what we're getting here right now is Detroit struggling, getting great looks for threes, but Ginobili and Parker only have 7 points between them. 10 points between them.
Yes, they do mono for 3.
You know he is not bashful. He is always looking for the three. In this series, that was his 11th score. Three-point make.
4 out of 5 for the Spurs tonight. 1 out of 7 are the Pistons from three-point land. And Ben Wallace gets free inside to tie it at 33.
Yeah, I love that. Anytime Antonio gets it and throws a ball fake, they're going because they do not want him to hit another open jump shot. But he'll give it up in traffic.
Bowen from about 8 feet, and the Admiral salutes that one. His old ball club has the lead by 2.
Now, Billups pushed him into a very tough area. That was a difficult shot.
Whistle as the pass comes into McDyess.
Yeah, McDyess was working very hard to post up Muhammad on that possession. They were looking to go for him right down inside low.
And the foul is on Muhammad. That is his second. Duncan returns to the game.
Yeah, Duncan is on McDyess. Wallace is on Ori. Or Ori is on Ben Wallace. Duncan is on McDyess.
Ticking down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, he wants to back down Parker here.
And then he lays it off underneath, and Big Ben is getting free for those jams.
When Chauncey Billups turns the corner on a screen and he gets down, the defense, you can count on it. It's going to rotate to him. But Chauncey will give it up to the big man who's open.
Ben Wallace, Defensive Player of the Year, has 12 points in the game to lead all scorers.
That's that same shot that Bowen had on the other side. He made it look easy, but that is a very difficult angle.
Hamilton. A little too strong. Loose call underneath.
Good call. Loose ball foul. They had that one out all the way, over the top of Billups.
Kid Rockton from Detroit. Both teams now in the penalty. They'll go to the line for the rest of the half, which right now has 86 seconds remaining. The WNBA on ABC. This Sunday, the game is Lisa Leslie and the LA Sparks against the Detroit Shock. Let's check in with Stuart Scott.
Al, if you ever wonder what Chauncey Billups is doing at 3 o'clock in the morning on game nights, he's watching a replay on the game on ESPN. He says every game he watches the replay. I said, why? He said, I just got to see if there's anything else I could have done. He said, usually if they play a great game, he finds things that they could have done better. If they play a bad game, he says, I usually see that we didn't play as bad as I thought we did. I said, what does your wife think about it? He said, she understands. She usually wake up about 4 o'clock in the morning. She'll see me, roll her eyes, and just go back to bed. She knows me.
Now Parker drives to the basket. Why doesn't he get TiVo and get some sleep? Watch it at 8 in the morning.
Then maybe Parker will get going right now. That one opened up for him. He was too quick for Campbell down in the painted area.
Final minute of the opening half.
Nice.
Beautiful inside, and this time Hunter does get the bounce.
That was a beautiful pass by Elton Campbell and a great backdoor change of direction by Hunter.
And now you got another foul call here, and this one is on Lindsey Hunter, prone to picking up fouls, sometimes in bunches. That's a second on him.
Well, you would try not to foul, especially when you are out at least 35 to 40 feet from the basket. You're trying not to have the contact, mainly because you don't want to send a guy to the foul line at this juncture. You want them to try to shoot and make the basket because both teams are struggling with low shooting percentages at this juncture in the game.
You got Parker in the game, and Larry Brown thinking about foul trouble. He has Ronald Dupree, who's barely played in postseason in the game. He also has Eldon Campbell in the game. Campbell has played sparingly. Campbell has not been in this series at all, but with 43.7, Larry does not want to risk that extra foul.
Right, he's trying to protect his front court guys and also Billups. He does not want to have Billups pick up his third here.
And Devin Brown is coming in for Popovich for the first time of the game. That's Brown defensively on Prince. Tipped back up, cleared by Barry.
Once again, Duncan with an intimidation there. He changed the direction of that shot. We're in a situation where the home team feels, yeah, we're shooting 40%, but we're at home. We're getting great production from the bench. Things will get going in the second half. Ginobili and Parker will get it going. If you're Detroit, you're saying to yourself, hey, we are in great shape no matter what happens on this last possession. We're struggling 1 for 7 from the threes. We're shooting a low percentage, but we're getting the shot blocks. We're forcing turnovers, and we're getting good looks at the basket.
Another timeout is called. You know, at the risk of sounding like a shill, because we said it the other night, beauty, again, is in the eye of the beholder. This is not Phoenix against Dallas. It's rough, and it's tough, and it's a little like the NFL right now. But you've got two teams playing one game for the championship. And it may not have been a high-scoring first half, but a pretty fascinating one in its own right.
Well, you have the two top defensive teams that we have in the league. They are both in the top 3 in 5 of the toughest defensive categories. Plus, they anchor it with outstanding shot blocking at both ends. So they erase an awful lot of easy opportunities that most teams would get in a different setting.
Well put. Ginobili letting the clock work its way down. Now to 7 seconds. Behind his back. And Manu puts it up, and it doesn't go. At the end, nearly a double dribble.
Well, he wanted a call. I thought that the defense was outstanding by Lindsey Hunter, and then also Hamilton came right in at the last second and forced a difficult shot. Watch it right here. Here comes Hamilton to help him out. As he steps through, he thought that he had an easier shot.
Over to Stuart Scott.
Thanks a lot, Al. Ben Wallace, Defensive Player of the Year, leading your team in scoring. What has surprised you most about this first half, Ben?
You know, it's tough. You know, nothing really surprising anybody right now. But it's just, you know, it's amazing how hard both teams are playing. Nobody want to give an inch.
How frustrating is it that you guys' shots aren't falling?
I'm not really frustrated. As long as we continue to stay in the game, as long as we give ourselves a chance to win the game, you know, we'll take it right here.
If you're Coach Larry Brown, what do you tell your team with 24 minutes left in this season?
Just stay solid. You know, do what you do. Do what you've been doing all season. Do what you did to get here.
All right, Ben, we appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks,
Al?
Well, Stu, Greg Popovich said a lot of the things he said before the game. Errors in the half-court defense are what's costing the Spurs right now. They double-teamed Eldon Campbell one time. He looked at me and you said, can you tell me why we would double-team Eldon Campbell? Well, I couldn't, so that tells you something. Those errors he wants to fix. They allowed Chauncey Billups a couple drives, allowed Ben Wallace a couple of spectacular dunks. He said, we've got to clean up those half-court defensive errors because Detroit just executes way too well. We got to do that. That could make the difference in the second half. Al?
Thank you, Michelle. They probably double-teamed Eldon Campbell because they didn't know who he was.
Oh,
well, they know who he was. He hadn't played a single minute in the series.
Al, you make a good point. They're getting caught on the double team. Every time they go to help out, double team, the Detroit big men are finding Ben Wallace or McDyess, and they're scoring a lot of points.
Period begins with Detroit inbounding. That means San Antonio gets the first possession of the fourth quarter. Tonight, San Antonio has been hot from beyond the arc. Detroit, the other night, was hot. Here's Billups. Picked up those 2 quick fouls. And missed a lot of time in the first half. Chauncey off the glass, missing here. Mohammed with a rebound.
Yeah, he was off balance on that release. Give Parker a lot of credit. Good, solid defense.
Who's in foul trouble? The only guy is Rasheed Wallace, who has 3. Duncan fights his way in. Scrambles and goes down and collects it, and he's a little slow.
Yeah, see, that's a good call. That's a loose ball foul. Now, unfortunately, Duncan is not moving.
Somebody landed on Tim Duncan. Foul will be on Billups, and Chauncey picks up a third foul in the first couple of seconds of the
you can see,
there it is.
that's
right
unintentional. He was trying to avoid the collision. Unfortunately for him, he lands right there on the top of Duncan, and Duncan has the ball right under his chest. Now, we had an excellent defensive rotation by Detroit. Rasheed did a terrific job in intimidating Duncan on that release, point-blank range under the rim.
Parker has it knocked away, but Ginobili gets it back, and then Manu gets fouled, despite Ben Wallace saying it should be an offensive foul, and that's going to be Rasheed Wallace, and that's his fourth. So Billups has picked up his third, and Wallace his fourth in the first minute of the third period.
Yeah, this is unfortunate because once again they lose the loose ball situation, and San Antonio scored a layup in the first half. On this one, they're going to get 2 foul shot attempts. Now Wallace right now, you can see it. That's big. Anytime you have 4 fouls, you only have 2 points in this game and 0 rebounds. This is a team, we said, you won game 6 because of the contribution of Prince and Wallace. 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks.
Larry Brown's compelled to take him out here.
Absolutely.
McDyess comes into the game. Ginobili misses the second free throw attempt, but we have an Eddie Rush call, and it might be lane violation. Was it a shooter's lane violation, Ginobili?
Yeah, I guess they're calling it on the stepping in. Yeah. On the stepping in, and it was debatable whether it was a Spur or Detroit. It looked like both guys were in at the same time.
Underneath, Wallace gets muscled. Ginobili quickly to Parker.
Now, in this game, San Antonio does not have a fast break basket. That is shocking.
One reason would be Detroit, the paucity of turnovers. They just don't turn the ball over very often.
That was beautiful rotation by McDyess. He came right into the area so that Ginobili could not get a good shot attempt.
And Hamilton has that one dropped, and he gets fouled.
Now, if you're rooting for Detroit, you know that Hamilton and Billups must get it going for you out on the perimeter. That will open. This is a tough shot right there, being challenged and hit.
Hamilton, 23 points the other night. He came up huge in game 6. 3-point play here. Rip has 11. Ben Wallace is the leading scorer. On the floor are those guys for San Antonio. And on the bench is Ori, who is their leading scorer tonight with 10 points. Ginobili cross court. Bowen lays it into Mohammed. Parker will launch a 3. Duncan is there. Duncan misses what would have been a jam. Here's Billups.
And McDyess wanted that one. They're going for the baseline screens.
Prince pulls up, misses a 10-footer.
See, they ran. Prince called for the down screen so that they would run 2 curls. But what he wanted to take Parker down inside the foul line and shoot over the top.
And you've got Duncan getting fouled here, and you saw that gyration by Ben Wallace, who can't believe the call. Rasheed looks on in disbelief from the bench, and that's 3 on him.
Yeah, you see what happens. Look how deep he's pinning him. See, anytime that there's transition, the big men of San Antonio run right to the little circle. You're about 3 to 4 feet in front of the rim. And if they pin you on their back, all right, it's going to be a strong move. Detroit wanted an offensive foul on Duncan.
Duncan alone from 18. And Wallace went up too quickly for the rebound, and it's out of bounds to San Antonio.
In this game, you can talk about pressure, because we have had some really open looks, uncontested, and guys are just missing.
Duncan with McDyess on him since Wallace is out of the game.
Good hand.
Phillips nearly stole, knocks it away out of bounds, but San Antonio will get it with only 8 on the clock.
That's the value of the deflection. Even if you don't make the steal, deflect the ball with the clock. You're down inside 8 seconds now on this catch.
Duncan off the glass.
What a great play by Ben Wallace to knock that right to his man.
And what a nice pass by him as well on the other end, and Popovich calls a timeout. Prince on the other end for the bucket. Commissioner Stern. Had a good week for David Stern. Worked out a collective bargaining agreement. There'll be no lockout. His league has a 7th game for the first time in 11 years.
I saw him before the game, and he said, you know, Yubi, after the draft, I'm taking myself a well-deserved vacation.
So are you, right?
Oh, good. This has been a great time.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Here's Ginobili. Gets doubled, loses the ball. Phillips starts back the other way. Detroit by 5, trying to make it 7, and Chauncey Billups gets fouled here. Parker. Robert Horry's going to come into the game.
Right, from now to the end of this game, you have to watch your turnovers. Detroit only has 3 for the game. An interesting stat. The leading rebounders for Detroit, McDyess and Rip Hamilton, with 6.
Unbelievable. And for Chauncey Billups at the line, Chauncey tonight only has 5 points, but he has 6 assists and has protected the ball. And this is Detroit's biggest lead of the game, 46-39, 8:20 left in the period.
San Antonio has not created any turnovers. Consequently, they have 0 points in the fast break game, which is a major part of their arsenal. And then Parker and Ginobili have got to get on glued here. They need the contribution.
3 on the clock.
Lost it.
Horry tried to tap it back in. That doesn't go. Here comes Billups. The other way for Detroit.
Detroit really running hard here in the open floor. They keep this up. They're going to open up some easy shots.
And McDyess works his way around Duncan to put it in, and it's a 9-point Piston advantage.
Well, you got to be impressed with McDyess tonight now. Off the bench, he's been terrific. He's got 8 points, 6 rebounds, and he's making things happen.
Spurs in 4.5 minutes are 0 for 7 from the field in this period. And they needed that. Parker.
Yeah, you hate to see your guard go down in that point. But Rip lost his balance and fell down, opened Parker up. That's only the 2nd time that Parker has scored below the paint. You know, when you coach the opposing team and you play Detroit, you really do not get a chance to appreciate Ben Wallace's passing. He's really opened my eyes in this series. He has made terrific passes in transition. He's made soft catches and great passes coming on baseline moves. And it's just nice to see because he's always looking for the free man.
7 minutes in the period. Tayshaun Prince doesn't go. Now Duncan with a rebound.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Mainly because I did not think that he had a clear look. He might have been a shade behind the board.
Bowen, they double him. Duncan free for the moment. They take care of him now. Horry on a turnaround off the glass, doesn't go. Hamilton got the rebound.
Oh, look out. Now can't force that.
Nice steal created by Manu Ginobili.
Now that's Billups' first turnover in this game. He has 6 assists.
Here's Duncan inside. Gets it back, puts it in, and gets fouled.
In game 5, when San Antonio won this game, not there, right here. This is where Duncan was a monster in that second half and the overtime. 8 offensive rebounds. You've got to concentrate on him now because he's not going to give up on any shot that he misses. He's there with the long reach.
Duncan, almost 14 minutes between points. He has 10 in the game. He and Ori each have 10 to lead the Spurs. It's an adventure, but it drops in.
It's all right as long as it drops in. It's a confidence builder.
Golf, it's not how many. Clean block.
That's what we tell you, the block shots at each end.
Ginobili. 7 straight points after that 9-point Detroit lead. It's almost evaporated, and Larry Brown says, get over here. Parker and Ginobili had 2. Ginobili's basket, by the way, the first fast break points by San Antonio tonight. And so Detroit has its 9-0 run, answered with a 7-0 run, and that's a 2-point game with 5:50 to go in the third.
I like the defense. Full court defense disrupted. We're already down to 13 seconds.
Phillips slip, gets back up. Now we're down to 7 seconds. McDyess gets free and drops it from 18.
You love Ben Wallace and McDyess tonight. Ben Wallace is 6 for 9, and McDyess is 5 for 6. So the two of them are carrying this front court lack of production for Detroit.
Barry and Ori in the game for San Antonio.
Yeah, McDyess and Duncan were in a war down inside. They were really banging around down in there, and then they catch Duncan with an offensive foul.
Yeah.
You're going to watch this now. McDyess is working very hard to front Timmy. See, he gets free a lot when you reverse the ball to the other side of the floor. That was quick feet and strong move by McDyess.
Pistons by 4. McDyess. And then you've got Ben Wallace in the lane, and Duncan puts his hands up. It actually called a 3-second violation on that prior play, so that's the foul on Duncan. It would be his first.
Now what we're seeing here is excellent passing down inside in the congested area by McDyess and by Ben Wallace throughout this game.
Ben Wallace, again, the lowest free throw percentage in history among fellows with a significant number of free throws, missing the first here.
Well, he's now 9 for 20. Yeah, he's 9 for 20 in this series, Al.
That's 45%. Now closer to his lifetime average after that one. Ori. Ginobili comes out to get it. Duncan now. Works on McDyess. Goes all the way. Can't get it to drop off the glass.
Outstanding double team from Ben Wallace as he came across. Duncan had the advantage. He was a shoulder ahead of McDyess, but Ben Wallace came in there. Terrific move.
Prince pulls up and drops it in for a 6-point Detroit margin.
Well, you're going to earn your shot releases from now to the end. We know that it was difficult to get a good look without being challenged in the first half. This half, baby, they are flying at one another.
Bowen, he's going to dish it underneath to Duncan, and Duncan's going to get fouled.
Keep an eye on Duncan on this move. Now you'll see right there he hits McDyess, but watch Ben Wallace come into the fray here. Right there, see, that caused Duncan to shoot a higher arc on his shot. You just love Ben Wallace tonight. I tell you, the young man has been everywhere. He's really laying it on the line. His intimidations, never mind his numbers with the rebounding and the points. He has really been helping out his teammates.
He's an MVP candidate if Detroit wins. He has 11 points. Meanwhile, McDyess just picked up. Duncan has 11. McDyess just picked up his 4th foul, so he comes out. And you got McDyess and Rasheed Wallace pretty much sharing a front court spot. They each have 4.
Right now, Detroit is very small. With Hunter and Billups in the backcourt, you have Hamilton and Price up front. So you are trying to get by with Tayshaun Prince as a power forward right now.
Tim Duncan, their leading scorer, and in fact leads everybody on both teams. He has 13 points.
Right now we're seeing, looks like a 2-3 zone right there for San Antonio.
Prince.
Prince thought he was fouled. Dick Pavetta told Prince that it was a clean block.
Duncan, this time he's got Prince on him. And Duncan puts it in and gets fouled.
In transition, Detroit is gambling that the small unit can defend. But right there, Prince had to pick up Duncan, and as soon as San Antonio saw that, the ball went right in, and you have Duncan in a strong move.
Duncan 3 out of 3 from the line tonight. Got the bounce, 3-point play with 3.5 to go, and it's a 1-point game.
Right now, Horry is playing Prince. Barry is on Rip Hamilton. You see right there, he knows he can take him.
And Duncan comes in for the block, and they're going to call him for the foul. Pavetta says, yep.
The defensive rotation at both ends by the big people into the shot block, excellent. See, right now, as soon as Hamilton saw Barry on him, you knew he was taking him right to the basket. Now, Duncan came across and made an excellent attempt for a shot block.
And they called it on Barry, the foul on Barry from behind.
Well, I thought Barry fouled him. There's no doubt that Duncan came across and got a clean block.
Well, you never know how they're going to call it on plays.
Oh, no, you're right. Absolutely right.
I know never in time are contradictory, but you know what I mean, Yubi.
Yes, I do. Right now, in your favor, if you're Detroit, Billups and Hamilton are 2 80% foul shooters, and I cannot believe I said that. As Hamilton misses.
It's the kibosh.
And as we play right now, Rip Hamilton is your leading rebounder with 7. Is he doing a job?
Duncan now. Tim Duncan banks one home. 53-all.
Ben Wallace did not close him out. In the early going, McDyess and Rasheed Wallace were taking that bank shot away from Timmy by playing him tight.
Tim Duncan, big quarter. 10 of his 18 points in the period.
Hamilton wanted to clear out here.
San Antonio can take the lead again. Tim Duncan scoring a point a minute here in the period.
Now you've got to go there.
Missing here. Underneath, Ben Wallace saves.
I like that. Never allow the referee to make a decision. If you can get that ball before it gets out of bounds, get it.
2 minutes to play in the period. Chauncey Billups in the lane, and he's going to get fouled. Bowen.
Chauncey's just going strong now. He knows that this is his time. The end of the third quarter and then fourth quarter action. He's going to pull his way with that upper body strength. This is where the young man is just terrific. He'll get the shot. Now, I know the people here are upset. They didn't think he was fouled, but there was definite contact. The foul could have gone either way. 38 of 41 is Billups from the line now in the series. That foul
on Bowen was his fourth. So Bowen is 4. And on the other side, McDyess and Rasheed Wallace each have 4.
Chauncey Billups just steps up there, Al, cool, and knocks it down with a beautiful release, nonchalant.
Pistons by 2, Barry outside.
Ben Wallace fighting Duncan.
Ginobili drives all the way in to score. It was around Ben Wallace who came in underneath and puts it in to tie it at 55.
Hey, no way could Ben Wallace help on that situation. Mainly because he had to worry about Duncan. If he would have moved to help, Duncan would have had a dunk.
Hunter. Wallace almost made a spectacular putback.
Yeah, Lindsey's struggling in this game right now. He's 1 for 6, and he's had an awful lot of good looks at the basket.
Coming up on a minute to go. Duncan, and has that one swatted out of bounds by Wallace with 4 seconds on the 24. Which Rasheed Wallace reminds his teammates. And Duncan gets free and off the glass.
That can't happen. Mainly because there's 4 seconds. You got to belly up on your man. So even though they scream, he would take you right with him.
Spurs by 2. And Billups has to go out of bounds. It's off San Antonio. You get 9 seconds.
Now, that was a difficult shot. And also, once again, San Antonio comes up with another shot block.
9 on the 24. Billups to inbound. Prince.
San Antonio's in a zone now. They zone you on the side out of bounds play.
3 on the clock. Hunter in traffic. And it's a 24-second violation.
Talking to Greg Popovich today, our defense must come back. We had great defense in games 1 and 2, where we had the shot blocks, we had forcing turnovers, getting out in the open floor. Well, maybe it's going to happen here in the last 4 to 5 minutes of this quarter. Can they continue it, though, during quarter number 4?
4.6-second differential. Parker, Ginobili trying to get free on a wing. Parker will pull up. He'll miss that. And it's out of bounds to Detroit, and you're going to have 7.4 on the clock.
Now, you have plenty of time here right now. Watch the drive and the kick out.
Billups to Prince.
There it is.
They work it into the corner. From the corner, Hunter drops it in. With 0.7, that's a long two. And a steal, and the shot doesn't go at the end, but Hunter was inside the arc. There's only been 2 other occasions when Game 7 was tied at the end of 3. One was back in 1955, 50 years ago, when the Fort Wayne Pistons were tied with Syracuse, and Syracuse won the game. The other was in 62, Celtics-Lakers, a game that went to overtime. A game the Lakers could have won if Frank Selby had made a shot at the end of regulation. A little history for you. And now the present for you. Al Michaels, UB Brown, Michelle Tafoya, Stuart Scott, 4th quarter, and San Antonio inbounds to start it.
Now Tim Duncan at the end of 3 has 20 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks.
Duncan.
Good strip. Good
Again,
strip.
it's Wallace who creates it. Big Ben. Rasheed is back in the game. He has 4 fouls. Underneath, Rasheed is going to work it back outside. Hunter. Ginobili off the glass.
See, right away, Rip Hamilton went right into the post and posted up Parker.
Duncan with a dunk.
Beautiful feed by Brent Barry. Ben Wallace went for the steal, The defensive rotation was not there from the other side of the lane.
Duncan had 12 points and 6 rebounds in the third period. Hamilton. And Wallace tips it to himself. Just great. And then there's a whistle. It's so loud there you couldn't even hear it. Back to the Duncan basket.
Now just keep an eye. Watch down in the corner here. A beautiful feed. Duncan seals off Ben Wallace.
And there's Dad. That foul was on Ginobili. That's his third of the game. Rasheed Wallace inside.
Yeah. He's got to have a good quarter here. They need his points. There's a defensive foul right there on the post-up. They have been consistent all night. And the post play defensively, you must adjust, especially now in the last 10 minutes and 36 seconds.
Second foul on Tim Duncan. Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, they need Rasheed Wallace to come to life here. Come on, time is running down here now.
5 on the clock.
Gotta be quick.
Turnaround by Rasheed goes to tie it at 59.
Al, he can do it. He can do it with his back to the basket. He can do it out of pick and spot up. He can also do it for you in movement anytime that his defender goes to double team. He just must come to life now. He's looking, he checks the clock. Now watch what happens here. It's just up and up over the top of the defender.
Inbounding with 19 on the 24. Bowen's going to come back in. They'll give Parker a little rest here. Bowen has 4 fouls.
Yeah, they have Barry and Ginobili in the backcourt now.
Ginobili working outside. Manu starts in, all the way in.
That was so clever. He hesitated his dribble, and as soon as he saw daylight, Al, that was an explosion. He attacked that rim.
And that's the type of thing he did in games 1 and 2 when he was spectacular. Spurs by 2. Wallace missing. And Ginobili gets a big rebound.
He had a good opportunity, a good look. I thought excellent defense by Duncan. Really challenged that shot.
Duncan guarded by Rasheed. Comes out to Barry, gets back into Tim, and it's off Duncan's hands.
Yeah, Duncan thought that he was fouled, but that was a challenge, a good deflection. And that pass, I like what Brent Barry did. When the pass came out, always look for the postman to repost, and he did. He tried to get it back into him in a deeper set.
Duncan gets a breather. Ori comes into the game. 9:15 left in the fourth.
Oh, you've got to go to Rasheed now. Now, Ori's a good defender, but he's given up a lot of sides here.
Hamilton guarded here by Mohammed. He's going to back off. Clock is down at 5. Cross court. Clock at 1. Prince puts it up.
Oh,
and
yes.
Big Ben gets another huge offensive board, but then Joey Crawford makes the call here. And you've got a foul called here. Trying to match Olympic gold in an NBA title.
Detroit must get Chauncey Billups going here. He's only 1 for 5 in this game.
Mohammed, who was whistled just before that break for his 3rd foul with the rebound.
Yeah, Ginobili was all over Rip Hamilton on that one. He challenged that one right to the release.
8.5 left. Ori from the corner drops it in for 3.
That is the 5th 3 in this game for the Spurs. Detroit still struggling in 3-point shooting. 1 for 9. Big difference.
Rasheed Wallace puts it in over Ori. 64-61 Spurs.
They didn't get that any time, Al. No way can Ori prevent Rasheed from getting a high percentage shot if he plays behind him.
Brent Barry picked up by Phillips. Now Ginobili. Prince out there with him. Gonna drive and stop. Turn around and miss it. Rebound comes off. Hamilton leaves it for Phillips.
Now they have Bowen on Phillips now. Barry's on Rip Hamilton.
Switch that turned out well for them toward the end of game 5. 5 on the clock. It's going to be contested, whatever it is, and Wallace has it knocked away. But Bavetta underneath is going to call against Detroit. 24-second violation. Never reached the rim.
Well, that was another great shot block. But give Ginobili a lot of credit. His defense on Prince was outstanding. And then he made him give it up, but there was not enough time. Then they get Muhammad on a great shot block.
Ori with Wallace on him.
Yeah, see, right now, Ori's all upset. Dick Bavetta called the travel. Ori is saying that he pulled me. He pulled me into the travel as he tried to make the reverse spin.
And Bavetta, who's been around, just looks on impassively.
Well, we all know when you get situations like that in traffic, Al, it's the angle. Your look as the referee. The angle on the call.
Hamilton off the curl. Duncan with the rebound. Tim has 10 rebounds in the game. Had a great third quarter. Duncan with Ben Wallace on him. Gonna dish it back to Ori. And that one's not close. But Duncan keeps it alive for the Spurs.
Remember we told you about Duncan's offensive rebounding. That's his 5th of this game.
Now Bowen from outside, and Bruce Bowen, who's been pretty quiet from three-point land. He loves to shoot from the corners. He doesn't shoot from that angle that often, but he, like Ori, is deadly from outside the arc.
With 6 minutes and 9 seconds to go, Chauncey Billups and Rick Hamilton are 6 for 22, and they have got to come to life. Because once they get going, if they would get going with the 17 to 22-foot game and then off the dribble, it will open up the front line.
Billups has only 1 field goal in the game.
That's a big stat.
And a steal. Ori knocked it away.
Well, we said with now 4 to 5 minutes in that third quarter, we have finally seen the San Antonio defense come to life that we witnessed in games 1 and 2.
Duncan trying to lay it off for Ori. Good defense underneath. Steal by Detroit.
Got to run a staggered screen here. Our curl. He wants to go into Rasheed Wallace, cut through, or take Barry in a one-on-one.
Rasheed over Duncan.
Needed that. Wow. That was a big basket for Detroit.
Very.
Rasheed has come in here right now looking to score. And he's running a nice thing right now. He's 4 for 7.
Duncan. McDyess is on him. Hamilton came over to help. That freed Parker, and he's still short, but Ori is there underneath. Big board.
Mr. Intangible. Boy, I'm telling you, he's alive, always on those rebounds or the short shot. They'll continue to give Parker that shot. You know, he's really struggled throughout this game on this perimeter shooting. He's now 3 for 11, and the shot has not gone down.
William Davidson, the Pistons' managing partner, who watched his Pistons win the championship last year. He also owns the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey team, and they won the Stanley Cup last year, and now he's trying to hit the trifecta with another championship.
One of the truly great owners that we have in the league. They have an outstanding organization. Joe Dumars is doing a terrific job in basketball management and filling all the holes with excellent talent.
With 3 on the shot clock, Duncan misses off the glass, and Rasheed Wallace leaves it for Chauncey Billups. In this quarter, Rasheed has done all of the scoring. Spurs have outscored the Pistons 10-6 in the period.
Now that was a terrific double team by Ginobili. As Prince left the area, he vacated the low box and went away. Ginobili came right back and double-teamed Billups so that he would not be able to take his man one-on-one. Now we have Bowen on Billups. Parker is guarding Hamilton.
Inside, McDyess, turnaround short, Ori off the glass.
That was a beautiful pass by Rasheed. And Tony McDyess had a great look.
Under 4 left.
Now you have your switch here now. So you have Prince on Timmy Duncan.
And you also have 2 on the shot clock. And from the corner, it's Duncan.
That's the first shot from the right side of the floor that Duncan hit. But I like it because Ginobili challenged, and then he kicked back to Duncan. Beautiful.
And then driving to the hoop is Chauncey Billups, who's been limited to 1 field goal tonight. Picks up his second 4-point game.
Now, Detroit needed that, and Chauncey Billups needed that.
3:10 remaining. Duncan puts it on the floor, lays it off to Ginobili. With 2 on the clock. Huge.
Duncan accepted that double team and knew exactly where he was going.
San Antonio by 7. We were tied at the end of 3. Duncan coming up very big.
This is Tim Duncan at his best. Just watch the diagonal pass to the right side of the floor. See, right there, you're going to Bruce Bowen, who is shooting a high 40% in threes. Now, as Lindsey Hunter goes down in there, they kick right back out, and then you have Ginobili on the catch and shoot. Now, this is big factor in this game tonight. That is the 7th three-point make for San Antonio, and Detroit only has made 1 3, a difference of 6 points.
And in total contrast to Game 6.
Pick up those extra points.
Now you've got Rasheed Wallace. Listen, Ginobili is there. Wallace was right on, but short.
This is where San Antonio does an excellent job. They run the clock well once they get inside of 3 minutes. They just do not rush the situation.
2:20 left, and the reach-in foul here on Ben Wallace.
Well, Detroit, that is their first foul.
First foul of the quarter.
First foul, right. But we're approaching the 2-minute mark here.
Pistons have only 8 points in the period.
That's right. Only 26 for the half, Al. And they're going to look at that and shake their head because they have not been able to score. But then again, the San Antonio defense has actually stepped up big time.
Here's Duncan. Comes up short. Big rebound for Ben Wallace. Ticking down to 2 minutes. Chauncey Billups is going to drive, and he is going to get fouled, and then he stumbles at the end of the play and goes down hard. Stumbled over Bowen. That is a foul, which is number 5 now on Bowen. Number 5 on Bruce Bowen.
Now, if you get the 2 foul shots here, you're in a 5-point game. Plenty of time. You have 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
And they'll shoot fouls the rest of the way. That's the 14th foul.
That's right.
You got Billups at the line. Billups is 6 out of 6.
Main thing right now, Detroit must really sharpen up their defense. They're bringing Lindsey Hunter in right now, and he's going to be on Ginobili.
Prince out. 2:02 to play. Phillips with 11 points. Detroit's leading scorers are Hamilton and Ben Wallace with 12 each, and he misses the second. 6-point game.
Like we said before, San Antonio, just take your time, good ball movement, run the clock, make sure you get high percentage shots.
They use the clock. Duncan off the glass, missing. Ben Wallace again to clear it.
Now, Larry Brown, you know you're getting what you want. One shot attempt. You got the rebound, but you got to make it happen.
Big possession here for Detroit, and Hamilton goes through the lane, and they're going to call it on Detroit.
Offensive foul. Rick Hamilton had no place to go. He got hit right in the thigh. Keep an eye on it. He's going to run right in there. Once again, the intangible man.
Horry.
Robert Horry does all of the little things. Gets the loose balls, gets offensive boards, but he takes charges, and then naturally, the bottom line is he makes big three-point saves.
Barry comes in. Bowen will go out. Horry is 91 seconds away from a 6th ring. And he takes a timeout here. 1:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. San Antonio 72-66. We said it, and we've been saying it through the series, and we said it at the top of the game. If Tim Duncan doesn't play great, everybody thinks, not everybody, a lot of people think he's playing lousy. An average game for him is a game that's kind of quiet. You don't even notice it. And as we said at the top of the game, if they win the game, he's probably the MVP of the series.
Well, he's not only with the 20-plus points, but the 11 rebounds. He made his foul shots tonight, Al, and that gave him a lot of confidence. He's picking out the good perimeter three-point shooters on the double team, so you can never underestimate the value of his assists when they hit those threes. Now, the big thing right now for San Antonio is you got to run clock, and then when you make your moves, go to your prime-time guy. He's been on fire making solid decisions.
And whatever happens if San Antonio wins, just a tip of the cap to Ben Wallace, who has just been terrific.
Absolutely.
During the finals.
Yeah. I want to bring out a point. In the 3 games that Detroit won, at home, they won 2. They shot 46 and 47%. They came in here in Game 6 and shot 47%. That's why we said at the top of the show, can they duplicate shooting that high percentage and then making threes? Well, as we sit right now, they're shooting 41% from the floor, and they're still 1 for 9 in threes. They've been not able to make the shots tonight, Game 7.
There's a situation with timeouts. Detroit has a foul to give. San Antonio doesn't. Brent Barry will inbound in the front court.
There's still plenty of time here for Detroit, but they've got to get stops. Oh, there
what
it
a
is.
steal, and it's Ben Wallace
That's
again.
right.
Coming over to the sideline. He is everywhere. Another huge possession, and Phillips with a pull-up to drop it in to make it a 4-point game.
There you go now. Now it's your defense. Just use clock management is the key. For San Antonio, it must be high percentage shots, strong drives to the basket. Detroit, hold them to 1 shot attempt.
Duncan gets it inside. Rasheed Wallace is there. Rasheed Wallace backs it out of his hand, but got his arm as well and commits the foul, and that's going to be 5.
Well, they've been getting away throughout this series by trying to strip the ball on Duncan every time he makes that move. Just watch. See, they don't go for the block. They go for the strip right there. Now, the pressure's on Duncan to go to the line now and make the foul shots. Tonight, he's 4 for 4. In games 5 and 6, he was 9 for 21. He's answered the bell here tonight.
Tim Duncan trying to increase a 4-point lead with 62 seconds to play.
There you go.
You never know what you're going to get from him from the line in the playoffs. He was 15 for 15 one night. Followed that up with 3 for 12. Tonight, 5 for 5 in the ultimate crunch time game. 1 of 2. Ben Wallace gets the rebound, and Larry Brown calls an immediate timeout. 62 seconds. Okay, Detroit strategy. What do you think at this point?
The big thing right now is you want to get the high percentage shot for your best guy. You prefer, if you can get off the dribble, get into the paint, make a strong move, either on a pass or a dribble. That way, if the shot does not go down, you get fouled. Now, we know that they are starving in three-point land. They don't need a three. All they have to do is use clock management now and get high percentage looks. When you say that you're in a 5-point game, you know, the clock is in your favor, but you must answer defensively by holding San Antonio to 1 shot attempt. If you can force a turnover, great. If not, hold them to 1 shot attempt.
Through the playoffs this year, in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, that's pretty good. The Spurs' opponents have not made a three-pointer, and San Antonio defends the three phenomenally well. They have all year long. Their opponents took by far the fewest three-point shots this year, and one of the reasons is, I mean, San Antonio puts an emphasis on defending the three-point shot.
Well, they're one of the quickest that we have in the league, Al. In foot speed, in closing you out on the perimeter. They run drills for that. Then they force you to put the ball on the floor because they are an excellent frontline rotation team with shot blocking.
Tayshaun Prince will inbound.
Now, both teams are in the penalty right now. You're shooting the penalty. Detroit only has a 20-second time left.
Chauncey Billups, and he has it blocked way outside by Bowen.
Now, that was an incredible defensive play.
Bowen charging, making the block. Under 40 to play. Ginobili, and that's going to make it a 3-possession game. Into the corner, Wallace bangs it home. Rasheed Wallace, 75-71 with 22.7, and you have to foul whoever gets it on the inbound play, and it happens to be Ginobili.
Well, San Antonio is happy. The right guy is going to the foul line for you. Keep an eye on Bowen. See, he times this perfectly. He has a major height advantage on Billups. And at this end, the alley opened up, and this is the wrong guy, because when Ginobili sees that, he's going. It's a big-time pressure shot by Rasheed. Now, going to the line, this is your only player throughout the season on your starting lineup that shot over 80% on the line. The other 4 guys were all in the 60s or lower.
Manu Ginobili makes the first. And the Spurs 22.1 seconds away from turning the Riverwalk into Margaritaville. Not that it wouldn't be anyway, but you get the idea. 6-point lead. Larry Brown takes his final timeout. And Larry Brown, and you can only hope, for those of us who know him, and he's been around for so long, that there are a lot of people who love him, that everything comes up real clean with him, and that he can go back and do what he loves and has been his life, and that's the coach.
33 years, Al, 29 years of winning records. That is unheard of at this level. That's a very difficult thing to do. He's coached at the college level, at UCLA and Kansas. He's coached 2 teams in the All-ABA, Carolina Cougars, and then Denver, and then he's coached in the NBA. He is one of the truly great teachers in the history of basketball.
6-point San Antonio lead. Detroit cannot stop the clock on a timeout. No fouls to give. Rasheed Wallace. In and out. Loose ball, out of bounds. The officials check with each other. Spurs will get it.
Yeah, Detroit's all upset. They honestly thought it was off of San Antonio. Now, from our angle, you could not tell. Main thing right now, San Antonio will try to put out there their best ball handlers and also their height, the guys that they think will make the foul shot.
And Popovich takes a timeout. 18 seconds.
Yeah, well, they're challenging right now. They honestly thought that they had that possession. They would have had the ball with 18 seconds to go. Now, when Rasheed Wallace shoots this, it's an almost, that ball goes right off of the foot of Ben Wallace. So the referees are correct. Excellent call.
18 ticks.
Well, we said that San Antonio must get back to their defense that they put out in games 1 and 2. Well, with 6 minutes to go in that third quarter, we saw that old San Antonio tenacity come back. Because from that point on and out through this fourth quarter, Detroit has struggled to get a good look at a shot, whether it was a jump shot or a drive to the basket.
They won it in '99. That was a shortened year because of the lockout. They won it 2 years ago against New Jersey. Not trying to do it again. (77-71). One benefit of that timeout. You inbound the ball in front court, and Duncan to send it in.
Detroit's got to go for the steal, and then they'll probably go for a quick foul, and then force the guy to make the foul shot.
And there's Ori, and they have to foul him, and then Wallace comes out to wrap him up and send him to the free throw line. So a series that started out with a rout in each game winds up with a classic Game 5, a great Game 6, and a hard-fought, tightly contested two-possession game at the moment. At the end, Ori has 13 points, 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. 74% career free throw shooter.
Well, Ori and Barry have really been outstanding off the bench. They made 3 threes between them, and now it's a total of 19 points, with Robert being the main man. But Ginobili has 21 points here, very quietly, Al, with the 5 rebounds and the 4 assists. He's done an excellent job, especially in the second half, to back up Duncan's production.
And Ori has 15 points, and then Hamilton will go in and get fouled, so they give him a chance for a 3-point play of all things there.
Now that's a bad foul. Popovich is shaking his head. What are we doing? You make this foul shot right now, you're back down into a 5-point ball game. Big thing now, get out. Do not assume that there'll be any kind of a timeout. San Antonio has 1 22nd timeout left. So what you do, if you make this now, you line up, you go for the steal, you do not get the steal, you foul immediately and hope that only 1 second goes off the clock.
That was the 4th foul on Parker. Those were Hamilton's first points of the period. The ball is thrown all the way down court, and Ginobili will pass up what would have been a layup to run out some of the clock with 7 seconds.
Now that was a heady play by Ginobili. Ginobili had his man face guarding him, and he made a move to the ball towards the baseline, stopped, and went long. Excellent pass.
And then the presence of mind to run around a little bit, take a couple of more seconds off. He knows he's going to go to the free throw line. He's a good free throw shooter. And this would be the total dagger here because it would make it a 3-possession game at 80-74. It is 81-74. And the San Antonio Spurs with tough defense, and Tim Duncan answering a lot of questions and erasing any doubt about coming up big when you have to come up big. And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.